With Diddy, with Brother Love, I don't really blame that on him now, as much as I did then, because I did go through a stage of bitterness. But in retrospect, I blame it more on the lawyers that were advising him
to separate the case
than him, because his lawyers were there, to secure a not guilty verdict by any means.
Right.
He's a corporation, $100 million corporation, and they look at me as the enemy. Now, this is
you didn't feel like
this is how many years ago? This is 20-something years ago.
20-something years.
So Puff is still young, relatively.
What is it? 1999.
1999,
okay.
2000.
Damn.
So he's much younger then, and it's a lot of pressure. He's about to lose everything. I'm about to lose everything.
Right.
I'm from that though. Right? Diddy is a musician. He's a great musician, great executive, great entertainer, but he wasn't from that.
Right.
So his response shouldn't be expected to be my response. And then when your lawyers and maybe other people are misleading you and misguiding you, I think that's how everything, fell apart. And he said that to me.
Right, it's beautiful.
He said, man, I'm sorry, man. I should have never listened to those lawyers.
That's real.
And, I forgave him.
That's real.
But, it was traumatic.
Yeah, still
So
stings.
I would forgive him, and then, you might hear me a few months later,
still stings.
going in on him.
Yeah.
That was over a decade ago.
Right.
And I was in a different space then. And, today, I'm all about, how I'm going to impact the world, building relationships, and forgiveness is a part of that. I can't carry 23 years ago with me in a negative way.
Yeah.
I carried 23 years ago
deep shit right there.
with me, all the good from 23 years.
That's
the bad, I take the wisdom out of it, I take the lessons out of it, and I use it for the next 23 years, how I'm gonna master this chessboard. When Diddy has supported me, he's been one of my biggest supporters. Him, Fat Joe. Those are my two guys.
Right.
Like I said, Nas always reaches out.
Fat Joe went to see you in jail though.
But see me in jail, can't forget Busta Rhymes. Busta Rhymes, my brother. But Diddy, in the most recent years, after we reconciled, once I told him what I was doing in Belize, became one of my biggest supporters.
Right.
Whether it's telling people through his platforms what I was doing, whether it's, financing what I was doing, and just giving me that moral support and that acknowledgement. And then recently they had tried to, after I got elected, pass legislation to disqualify me from the House of Representatives.
Wow.
To say that anybody that got convicted of a crime can't be in the House of Representatives.
In another country?
And Diddy lost it when he heard that. And he got the Revolt people, he got the publicists, he got everybody. He started talking to his legislative friends and was like, we can't let this happen. This young man changed his life. He's doing great things for his people. And he is black excellence. And I can't let this happen to my brother. And so he was very instrumental in, when I came here, meeting with the legislators in Georgia. So Puff, to me, totally redeemed himself and is my brother and I love him. And so I don't need to talk to him every day. I don't need $1 million from him. The love and the support in the time of critical need is worth more than $1 trillion.
Right.
And that's important because when you expect money from people, when you expect material things from people, you will always be disappointed.
What's it called? Entitlement?
I don't know if it's entitlement in my case because, after 10 years,
right, exactly.
That's debatable. But what I'm saying is, I prefer to say expectation.
Right.
Don't expect anything from anyone and appreciate everything that, God sends your way and take it for what it is. you know, but just hold yourself accountable, navigate your path and your journey, and life will be much less complicated.
Right.
So when there are no expectations, whatever someone does or contributes, it's just, it just enhances, it's just extra.
Right.
But you know, I got what I got going, but that's still my brother.
Right.
So my love
Right.
doesn't have a price tag on it.
Right.
So I don't love you because, you know, you sent the Maybach to
Right.
Belize for me.
Right.
I don't love you because, you know, you gave me $1 million for my campaign.
Right.
I love you because you're my